Welcome to this review of the top 35 8-bit games to not receive votivization, vocalizational, or locational translation, retranslocitatiousness, or locational transaction festivity. These are the overlooked gems, the passed over jewels, the unnoticed agates. These are the minerals that shape the minds of all those in the location where they were released, but not in other locations. 35. Kicking off with number 35, we have Kickoff 35. This exciting side-scroller split the vertical refresh rate of many a CRT back in the cathode days of 1985. For an entire season, the children of Localand reveled in the mockery of jurisprudence proffered by this deadly card. 35, they would chant, giving 6 high fives in rapid succession, followed by a final 5 with the other hand. This mirrored the deadly karate moves of Importina Mortina, who was the dastardly villainess of the entire story. 8 stars out of bread, no notes. 34. Next, at number 34 on our list, we got the tactical RPG racing Sim Blandishment from Taikaratatatuk or Tattletale Entertainment Conglomerate. Feel the wind in your hair and the corns on your toes as you dig in the trenches and assign your troops to either farm, defend, or speed drift the racetracks that make up your medieval fantasy war zone. 9 5 out of 6 full donkeys. 33. Upper deck next with the best picks and the most respect. It's down sweet ass with number 33. This game packed a pack of wallop. 16-bit beat-em-off city simulator Don't Tell the Neighbors had classic locality written all over its light-sensitive DSP power-packed chip, a glorified math coprocessor that enabled the blast cycle graphics that drove a nation to drink. Eagle-eyed fans still tremble in fear or emo when they describe the pants' piddlingly hard final level, the dromedary gauntlet. 32. Ranking our way southward, it's 32 with the number 32 title on our overlooked jewelry of ludology list, Gorpnark Retaliation, a gang warfare submarine on the nascent polygonal Polybox 2039. This game saw little penetration in the West and East, mostly just hand-sold. Common complaints about this erstwhile classic involve the ease with which the gang leaders of the opposing submarines are dispatched once you know their patterns, but it remains the most positively reviewed game from the undersung Polybox 2039, and that makes it number 32 on our list. 31. Pump action for the masses with a lawn mowing bent. That's right. At number 31 on our list, we come in hot with number 31. It's Bunk Bed Buddies, Blade Blast Off. Who can get the most turf, and then keep that turf absolutely level, while getting as many headshots as possible? That's right, you, because this game is a non-stop multiplayer barrage. Barrel fusillade. It remains popular with people who pop out at parties. But make sure, if emulating this classic, to get a controller that can mimic the original's neural recursive dissension module, or you won't be able to do any edging, and the sidewalks will keep you from getting full marks. 30. The unlocalized locality games keep flying out of the list in reverse order, and unless I am very much mistaken, we have at this time come to number 30. 5 glorious classics down, 30 to go. And we'll start the rest of the list at number 30, fittingly enough, which is Insolvent Advent. The first game where failure to localize 8 needs no explanation. is about the misadventures of Willie J. Chris, a savior who liquidates failing companies. It featured full nudity, albeit only available in bronchial tubes, and even in a 10-bit game, this was a boundary-pushing declaration of intent. Sadly, the GDK group behind the title ceased operations the next year, selling, having been killed in a huge fire, and sales of Insolvent Advent being less than expected for their meteoric fall from existence itself. So it dies. At number 29 on our list is the 29th item in our list. It's a little weird, because technically, this is the 7th item in our list. But because we're kind of going in a sort of backwards order with it, it's not really meant to be conceptualized as the 7th. And what we are calling the 7th item in this ranking is technically really the 28th by that same standard. But it's meant to be understood, I think, culturally, that it's completely rational to expect people to hear me say that this is number 29. But to just sort of get that, I mean in the list. Anyway, now I kind of don't even want to talk about the game, but that's what this is. So here we go. 29 is the Space Shooting Cave Exploration Classic, Chess Boxer. Get in the cockpit, throw your towel in the ring, dive deep, and checkmate your opponent in the most intricate bowling simulator ever devised. 28, we take a bit of a curveball at the conceptual 28th entry with early polygonal game 28. Curveball 2, the Renaprise. Take control of Bonter Weevil, a mercenary archaeologist for hire, on his quest to exonerate Pope Pontius Pilate from the Porch Pirate Pilates class and save the realm of Lesser Rooster from reruns. Forever. An early exemplar of the analog D-button revolution, how hard you hit the button actually affected the intensity of the sound the button mechanically produced. First in gaming, 27. Slapping that 27 button as hard as you can and enabling full control of its phone, we have number 27 in itself, 27. This game ushered in the era of 32-bit color depth sensors, and it shows. With advanced de-reinterlacing and motion coarsening buffers, the title demonstrated the full capability of non-floating point modulation pipelines to a comprehending audience of small children. Players thrilled at the re-indexed prominence buffer and the rapid trigonometric computations performed each second by the highly engaging game. Its gameplay is also present. 26 ambles along with a shimmy and little mosey, because here at Rootin' Tootin'ers, 2020 Spabus. It's numero 26 with jangling cattle hand Sam and the dirty donkeys. A deliberately provocative 16-bit sexploration game, unlicensed by distributors and free of tariff restrictions, by order of Ambassador Dwayne Falkenstern. This lascivious load-up was 2 spurs shy of XXX and 4 animated pixel BBs away from a baker's dozen. In the mid-1390s and late 1980s and 40s, too much of this digital was considered a good thing. Local, still, Jonglian Song, as it has come to be affectionately known by its fans, is probably the 16-bit title that fans still print out screenshots of and ejaculate on more than any other. A distinction which finds it sloppy and floppy at number 26. 25. I was really excited now that we're at this one because I was going to say we were halfway done, but that just shows how bad at math I am because that ain't it. At all, I'm starting to get whatever. That doesn't change what the next game is. And that's gotta be something. Look, I never said you had to watch this whole thing. And I don't get why you're trying to put this on me. Number 25 is up at the 11th real and 25th conceptual spot. Filth Mountain. Go pound sand. This colorful puzzle game remains one of the Fruity 44's only real successes before the unlocaled console spat back into the mountain, whence spawned, and was buried under ET in a trash pile. Fans actually gather to celebrate at the landfill each year to commemorate the anniversary of the day that Filth Mountain became an actual mountain of literal trash. They also have deities and whittling classes on site in what county commissioners call technical legal but grossly inappropriate 24. We did it, guys. We did another number. Now we're going to do another number, and let's keep the others coming with number 24 for England. That's right. It's British Golf Colony Adventure, the only game where you can hole-in-one entire civilization's artistic treasures directly into your own museums before taking a birdie on any bling, because people eventually are just so damn grateful you grew the Beatles, and unlike America, you could keep them alive. Golf your way to temporary world domination that you will never accept responsibility for in the number 24 title, British Golf Colony Adventure 23. Kick it in the old school tooth with the too true for how we do 23rd item on our visual listicle event, Bombastic Blast. It's Blastotic Bomb 2. Take 2 bombs and blast me in the morning. And many were the 12-year-old spawn of drunks who chugged 6 cans of Jolt and pissed their pants through this game until the wee morning hours. It was like that, son, taking control of Raggedy Joe, a small porcelain mime doll that lost its way from its parents, players of Blastotic. Bomb 2 blast their way through colorful candy countrysides and small battlefields filled with bloodthirsty mercenaries and candy cane pilferers. Mommies and grandmas all over the sweet land of local would peel out their pocketbooks and try to play it off like they were too busy for purses. But they really just thought purses got you mugged if you had one swinging over your arm. But they'd peel a wad of tens out of that big long leather wallet and say, I'll put it all on Blastotic Bomb 2. Or I'll take 2 bombs and blast your ass in the morning until you poop your damn pants up onto your head. Bulb discount store of the 80's teenage clerk. You're gonna be a Karen, giving birth to 3 straight-toothed rapists, varsity future drunks in about 20 years. So give me the goddamn game for my goddamn own straight-toothed varmints before I pull your ears off your head and stuff them up your asshole. Robbie cried in the corner, but he was also proud to know he had a mama who loved him like that. 22, taking its sweet time with its own jack-off place, and the list is the topsy-turvy arcade action of Ant Faction, Spread Your Sheets, which is one of the only hymenopteran simulators available worldwide to this day. Ant fans lament the lack of true biodiversity, but spreadsheet connoisseurs and appreciated the lifelike attention to detail and the accurate recreation of Niagara Falls in clay, which was then digitally captured and turned into a set of sprites for what Vondry Gamer Weekly called a nearly flawless representation of the life cycle of a male cicada. 6 barks out of stars. Remember how for the first 2 we did that? Well, it's back. 21, taking life one knife to the kidneys at a time. It's entry 21. Line over and take it, Judgment Day. The early 3D polygon graphics can cause some modern players to overlook the kinetic repossession, action, and frantic fee structure that makes this the most satisfying take on the Salt Lake Flight mechanic. A dolphin exhibit genre has to offer jaundiced players with yellowing scleras and tears in their aortal valve that their spouses can hear murmuring in their sleep. It's like, good God, how many top-down RPG parachuting, tax accountancy games can one developer put out in a lifetime and still have nothing but golden notions and bronzed conceptualizations? They keep raising the bar, like a dolphin in a motor scooter, purring for life, and like generations of gamers, we're here for it, with our mouths open and drooling, and our tongues hanging down, like overlong ties, hiding out scrotal shame, and we can't get enough. 20, topping off the 20s with a toot in tinabulation. It's Tiny Tarantula and the Tattling Televangelist, an unlikely pairing of a New Zealand sheep farmer and the electronic alien subjugation bot that he has sworn to protect. Using the power of the 32-bit console to drive the miniaturization process, Shepard became the arachnid shrinker as tiny gasping preachermans screamed aloud the gospel of the comings and goings of various little spiders. It was a convoluted story that nevertheless spawned a successful series of graphic albums and comic operas that still runs direct to VHS to this day. 19. Plopping out like last night's Grease. It's number 19, and its holy harbor of meat injustice. Just Us Meaty Boys, the first in the quadrilogy of nautical side-scrolling bodice rippers. The meat crew are at it again, praying in the harbor and shaking tail feathers for dollars. When up comes a hoot and a holler, Captain Plankite Queen, the lady pirate princess who owns the shoe and lets the people know it. The top-down first-person viewpoint gives an original perspective to the isometric racer. Its raucous soundtrack has devastated millions of players all over the rural locality, for which we are eternally grateful. 18. Mean and clean, with the dirtiest slate you've ever seen. It's 8, and it's team number 18. On the scene, that's 1-8. Not a mistake. 8 in the 1 and a 1 in the 10's place. You up late? It's all great. I'm going to tell you what's up next on your plate. No, seriously though. Number 18 is the 16-bit game Slackery School, Blasphemy Taffy. The game where you defeat levels and avoid bad guys to win points, and where strategy and timing are key. 16 colorful levels, each with graphics and sound, are stored on the cartridge and accessible with the proper hardware. 16 out of fleas, because we are still doing that thing now. Again. Consistently. Remember, guys, remember way back when I thought I was halfway through and I was only like 4 in or some dumb ash like that? Well, it's happening. Hey, we did it. This is the part of the episode where we have like done over half of them. Because 35 is its odd number, I would have had to stop halfway through Jafra through the last game and been like, half, and that sounds dope, but like, too late, I guess. 17. So number 17 is on the scene, so fresh and clean, and it's the greatest 10 and 7 we have ever seen. Metro. 64-bit game, Lorgus Tortoise and the float arrays allowed a hero duck on rocket-powered roller skates slalom through impenetrable vaults in search of thru, the Emperor of Spasticons 2000. With swiftly ramping difficulty and gently diving tortoise sprites, the game made players take a second, third, fourth, and 57th look at the 64-bit generation of consoles. If consoles could be generated by 64 bits, they could make their own selves, driving manufacturer construction costs down and making profit margins sing from the rooftops. Kids would sing the infamous Lorgus Hustle introduction song on the playground, often trying to capture and hook innocent squirrels. This game features solid top-down side-scrolling, double joystick action for a fraction of the wrist movements of its more well-known brethren. 16, like a dumb little kid, sweeting their braces off to crash their dad's luxury sedan. We're 16 now. At 16 at least. And that's enough for Bakum Greasy. This here game is an oldie, but a goldie, and it's not a pile of moldy. And so many copies soldy, and we grew boldy with all the frozen folders. Fragrances, but the ladies in the diner said, "Get that stank out of our faces." I managed with no traces. But we have a number 16 game right here. Griddle Flipper, Dog Dog's Golden Rally by Bindixite Exciter HS Studio Games. It has leaping lizards. It has frolicsome windmills and wand wheels. And Wonder Blender raster, mapped bit-depth graphics. Bit for bit stack up like the blocks dog dog flips so expertly. I remember playing this game as a kid, and I slid a lip on the boyfriend when I finished playing because just looking at the screen so hard for so long made me dizzy and sick. So after vomiting everywhere and blacking in and out, I was proud to still see my high score on the screen. We were visiting Localand that summer as part of a location, which is what a vacation to location is called. Around those parts in those days, by certain types of people who did say it. So that's how I played this one game as a kid, out of all these games that never left the local. That's what sophisticated Localand insiders call it, or what they did back when I was a cutie out in summer, in the hotel and stuff. Good game. Solid rally action, and a lot of block riddling. Good times. Someone at the hotel stole my dad's watch, and he was pissed. But the game was fun, and when we got back, it ends up he had never packed it in the first place, so he looked like a giant tool. Good game. 15. R-bit singing Albatross. Military. Cyberpunk sensation Solace Beekman. Croc Wrestling Cat is flipping in at 15, and we are progressing backwards in time like a reverse fish. This game was a bleepy mess of high-octane sports mixed with arcade reflex art studio, allowing users to sew their own animations for a small monthly prescription fee that was eventually found to be a massive Medicare scam. Sadly for the patients and gamers left holding the bag, the end of legal proceedings, begun in 1987, were not finalized until the very late date of 2003, by which time the game's developers had all pooled the profits of this game, which, I should add, is actually quite good. If you are a cat person who has always hated crocodile and wanted to peck at them while navigating endless maze-like levels, stuffed to the gills with fish monsters and the occasional decoy otter that you would lose points to peck or wrestle on your way to be an albatross who beat a cyberpunk military through song, because that is what the thing is really about. Along with the Medicare scam bit and the art studio sports. It's hard to explain. It was a tough game, but kids liked it because it was tough. And that's what whippers and snappers snapping off about their whip don't get these days. 14. Snap back to the land of low-res polygons with Scatter Snack 3, Bread and Buster. A slick racing sim-marred farming pod. It let players grow their own crops of totally sick real-life video game food. And grow their own crops of totally sick real-life video game food they did. But not very much, and only a few of them did actually grow their own crops of totally sick real-life video game food. But thanks to the Super Pack and Power Snack Adapter, any real-life kid who owned the video game could, for a small monthly one-time charge, pop out the Pack and Power Snack Adapter, pull out the Power Pack and Snack Adapter's specialized seed distributor power parcel, parcel out point earning seed distribution parcels, unpack them, plant, and pack soil. Back in the unpacked pack of seeds, once soiled, soil while sprouting and watering throughout. But not many people took them up on the offer, because it turned out that totally sick, real-life video game food was not high on the list of priorities for the little white, unwashed masses who thronged the Toys R Us style stores of Localand back when this game was part of a very brief rage. 13. Fiddling while Rome burns at number. Big 1, big 3. Full on 13 capital numbers tattooed right on this next game's face. It's game number 13 in this long as hell list. Why the hell is it 35? But anyway, we did a whole mess of the games. So as we go on, it's all the real freaking classics that money can't buy. And this first of the next ones is no exception. Except that, because it's ranked lowest on the list, it's probably the least freaking classic of the rest of the list. So talking it up, look, this was honestly pretty stupid, and I could have avoided it, but I always get so damn sure of myself at the worst freaking times. Anyway, Game 13 is a corker of a game, but not compared to all the ones after it. And that pretty much goes for the whole rest of this thing. God, this is freaking long, and I didn't really plan any of this, guys. And I don't know. Anyway, we're headed back to the 16-bit era with number 13, a 16-bit game with 256 simultaneous on-screen colors. But the name of the game is Potterstorm, and it is about a talking porterhouse steak who snakes his ways through a secret portal that, it turns out, is piped directly into hell, where the denizens of the evil Broccoli Brigade are trying to consume the souls of all living humans and put the earth itself under the dominion of the dark beast, Morsk, a thinly coated stand-in for Lee Iacocca. Some of the political and legal theorizing in this story went over the heads of native speakers, but the core gameplay loop was rightly considered to be an entertaining way to stuff a living steak into pipes, leading directly to hell, at least for the time. 12. Numbering in a 12 on the list of 35 things in reverse order, which makes it secretly 23rd on our list, but not really. It's the dynamite little part that could. That's right. It's Cheddar Star Flux, and its epic blend of aerial combat and a fluid gymnastics control scheme that that made kids way over in Localand feel muy loco about their locomotive abilities. And that's just for starts. This game pushed everything, sound, graphics, as a hidden but ever-present right-wing agenda, control, and ergonomics to the next level, and took it over the edge, gripping it in a death embrace, and whispering, mules for all, repeatedly, as the two plummet to the jagged rocks below. Oh, to be young again, and have grown up in Localand, and played this, because I'll be honest, I didn't check this one out on that summer vacation way back when, but it looks phenomenal, and that's important to me. Huh? I like that. Hey, 11. Shit, are these getting longer or something? I feel like we were getting through them a lot faster before, but we've done all but one of the also-rans. This is the last semi-dud. I mean, don't get me wrong, every last one of these fucking games are stone-cold classics that hop and bop and do all the things right that could possibly be done in a home console game. And I'm not just talking when they came out, but like, even still today. These are 35 video game puppies that stand the test of time, and then some, and do it with a smile. But what I mean is, every game after this one in the list, and remember, because we're going in reverse order, it's actually not really before the next ones at all, so to speak, but very much in a real sense. After it, once removed either way, if you'll take my meaning. But like I was saying, every single game after, before, if you prefer, this game on the list is one of the top 10, which means, since their numbers are the lowest in value, what you're going to get is the games that, in all actuality, are the highest in value. And that isn't just my opinion. I mean, it sort of is, because I put this together just sort of based on what, like, I think people are saying. So yeah, in that sense, it's just my opinion. But it's also the opinion of many other people simultaneously.